Hey guys, so this is my lab 2.5, genetically modified organisms. The first question says, describe the viewpoints of each of the following groups towards genetically modified organisms. So the first one is radical environmental groups, and this group is against genetically modified organisms. They are against them because they would rather have more organic and natural farming than non-natural and non-organic. The second one is industrial scale farmers. They are for GMOs, and they're for GMOs because they can produce more goods in less amount of time. And these kind of farmers would rather produce as much as they can in the least amount of time. So that's why they're for the GMOs. Organic farmers are against GMOs, and they're against them because they want their products to be organic, and genetically modified organisms are not organic. Agricultural biotech companies, they're for GMOs, they like them. They're for them because GMOs help keep pesticides out of their business, so that's why they're for them. Federal agencies, they're kind of equal. They're for GMOs and kind of not for GMOs depending on how good they are for people. So they just want to make sure that the food is healthy for the customers and the people buying them. So if the GMOs are healthy, then they're for them, but if they're not healthy, then they're against them. And the sixth one is American consumers. Some people are for, some people are against. So some people would just like more information about it to really know like what they're eating and what they're putting into their body. And but most would just like to buy whatever's the cheapest. So some people don't even look. They just go buy whatever's cheapest on the shelf. So a lot of people really just don't care. The second big question on this is, what are the pros and cons of GM foods? So some pros. The first one is they spend less money producing it because it's easier. So you don't have to spend as much money to produce them. The second one is that they are resistant to insects. So this helps it produce much healthier crops, which I don't know, I guess it depends on like what they're using for to keep them resistant to insects. The third one is they can give seeds and the produce a longer shelf life. So you can send seeds to somewhere else and it can be a really long trip for them, but they'll still be good by the time they get there. So that's one really good thing. Some cons. It has actually increased food allergies because some people like don't know what's getting put into the GMOs, so they may be allergic to it, and a lot of people are, so it's causing a lot more food allergies to come up. The second one is they modify the seeds using antibiotic resistance, which can make them harder to kill. So if people are eating this and they get sick off of it, it's antibiotic resistant. So there's no antibiotics that can stop it. So it can actually eventually kill people, which would be really bad. So that's one really big con of GMOs. It can also cause environmental damage because this kind of growing crops is not, it's not environmental behavior. So it can actually end up hurting the environment, which would not be good. The last question is my view on GMOs, and I think that GMOs need to be labeled. I think that labeling is really important because just like the food allergies, what if people don't know what's going in, what they're eating and what's going into these foods that they're buying and eating? And so that's why I believe that the labeling is really important. Even if some people don't really care and don't look at it, that's fine. But the people who have really bad allergies and are really worried about what they're putting into their bodies, this is important. So I believe that labeling GMOs and telling people exactly what you're putting into them, even if it's really not that great, that's their fault. But they need to put a label on it to let people know what they're eating. So thanks guys, have a good day.